So, about 10 days ago, Disney dropped some bombshell news, in my opinion, regarding the fact that Star Wars Clone Wars, the TV series that came out in 2003, led by a guy named Tartakovsky, will soon to be released on Disney Plus. This is huge news, in my opinion, but I don't think a lot of other people are talking as if it's huge news. Um, the reason I say it's huge news is because you have to think about who Disney is. What does Disney own? Disney owns Star Wars. What's another huge item that Disney owns? It's Marvel. And the reason that's such a big deal is because it's like, okay, you're just looking at Disney here being like, oh, hey, there's Star Wars content out there. We may get more subscriptions if we throw this Star Wars content in that is going to fill a small section of fans that maybe wouldn't have subscribed to Disney Plus otherwise if we don't put Star Wars The Clone Wars in. And we just have our 2008 version of The Clone Wars, which is also a great show, but there are some people that would want that other version of this show as well. And that may be it. But the thing that I want to really think about today is the fact that if you think about it, this was one of the shows that Disney went, hey, they buy Star Wars. Okay, they're like, okay, what are we gonna do with Star Wars? It's like we got the license. It's like there's a ton of stories out there. We gotta figure out what we're gonna do, what we're gonna say is right, and what we're gonna say is wrong. Okay, so they classify stuff as canon or non-canon. All right, they go, hey, the original 6 films, those 1 through 6, those are all canon. Those are good. The only other thing besides that that's canon when Disney buys Star Wars is Star Wars The Clone Wars, the 2008 show. So it's like, all right, well, that just means you eliminated an entire section of content called the Expanded Universe or Legends. And you're taking a giant group of fans. Not me at the time. I was only 11 years old when Star Wars was purchased. But I really hadn't had a chance to get into Legends content or anything like that because I never really went past the films at that point. But I loved Star Wars as a kid, and I really basically have only started liking it even more as I've aged. Um, so I think the thing that I'm really interested in here is the idea of having the Marvel concept of a multiverse in the Star Wars universe. Because Disney owns Marvel, Disney owns Star Wars. If we have Star Wars Legends and what Disney has come out with real Star Wars, there's elements of both that I think could be great. The thing is that a lot of people got really upset with what happened in episodes 7, 8, and 9. And there's elements of 7 I like. I love Solo. I love Rogue One. I love what they've done with The Mandalorian. I love the concluding season of Star Wars, The Clone Wars, the 2008 show. But the thing is that they have to see that there's fans out there that were very upset by that. So there's some content that fans are loving that they're making, like The Mandalorian, but the sequel trilogy, that's kind of the biggest deal, and that's kind of where the biggest flop was. So you see that, and they have to see that, and they have to think, how can we make this right? And I think the thing that this news that seemed like it was just supposed to be, throw this out there, just some older Star Wars content that we'll be adding to the Disney Plus library, it might be bigger news than people think it is. Because it might signal the start of something where we could say the first thing that's the main difference in between Star Wars canon and Star Wars Legends is that Legends version of Clone Wars is going to be based off the 2003 Star Wars Clone Wars TV show, whereas canon Star Wars is going to be based off Star Wars The Clone Wars 2008. This isn't to say that they're going to change anything with 7, 8, and 9 and deem them not canon. But those characters that I don't know much about, to be fair. But Solo Children, um, I know there's a lot of interesting storylines there, and there's things that like Flo and characters have in the new trilogy that really match some of the characteristics I know about the characters that were in Legends, along with characters like Mara Jade and other things. But those characters that fell to the wayside before that may have upset fans and turned them off from the sequel trilogy entirely, maybe lost those fans potentially forever at the time, maybe now you can earn those fans back. If you're willing to start making these branching storylines with two different things, people can choose to follow one storyline over the other. Or if they're a big enough Star Wars fan like me, I'll follow both. I would love to follow both storylines. I love what's going on with The Mandalorian. I love the type of things that we're starting to get in this new canon of Star Wars Disney is creating. But the idea that we could potentially fix the just kind of glaring issues that a lot of people see with episodes 7, 8, and 9, basically because they had no direction. And I think that may be why episode 7 is my favorite film of the sequel trilogy, is because it was kicking things off. So it wasn't like, well, we're introducing the story at this point. You can't really kick it off and have it moving in a bad direction. Whereas once you get to 8 and it's like, okay, where's this story progressing? And it's like you get to 9 and it's like that's the conclusion. It's like the path of 1 through 3 and 4 through 6 felt a lot more like a complete trilogy than 7, 8, and 9 did. So, yeah, you're going to have differences. But I think it could be a great business move for Disney, honestly, just in terms of gaining fans back that they may have lost and probably increasing revenue and all sorts of things. But I mean, just bringing more people into Star Wars. I mean, that type of thing is going to get people talking. And you may say things like, not all press is good press, but I mean, I really think a lot of the times just any press at all is good press. You don't want your movies just going out and getting bad reviews and awful reviews and stuff. But if you can have like a bit of a self-inflicted like controversy, but one that also makes people really interested in this idea that we have two branching Star Wars storylines, two different ones, but the only thing that's consistent with them is the fact that I would say the one consistent piece would be that episode 1 through 6 is the same in the Legends brand and the Canon brand now. I'm just really interested in that idea, and I think that this concept that they're even allowing to put Tartakovsky's 2003 The Clone Wars on Disney Plus may be signaling a lot more than people realize. And if that's the case, we are in for a very awesome treat for the future of Star Wars.